Oh, one of the hot topics on this morning's show when we did our opening was the amount of laps that they run at the 410 Nationals, running 50 laps. There's, and I don't know how you feel about this, but there's a lot of people that don't like that and would rather see it cut back to 35 laps. This is probably John's department, maybe. I don't
Yep.
know. Yeah, but your thoughts on the 50-lap race?
Well, to me, myself, I like the 50-lap race,
Yep.
but that's my own personal preference. And if we need to do something different to make everybody think it's a better race, I'm all for that. But it just seems to me like since we went to 50 laps, there's been a lot of good endings to the race, past lap 35 and on. And look, you nailed it when you said this is kind of John's deal, but I know I've talked to him about it in the past, doing that. And John's not even confident with if we do the full parade lap and we do the fireworks, that takes a couple laps. He's not even confident we have a couple cautions we can make 35. So then you go to a 35 lap and you still have a fuel stop.
Right.
Then what do you have? So
Yeah.
it's just that around Knoxville here, the motors take so much fuel, now I'm just going exactly what John's telling me. So,
Yeah.
like I said, John would be the one to talk to on this, but he cringes even when we, have a weekly race at 25 laps and we have a couple cautions and then we do have some people that aren't lined up and we're out there going a few more laps. He's starting to get nervous on fuel already by then. So,
Right.
So yeah, I'm open to anything. My personal preference is I still like the 50-lap race. It's one time a year that, the special race, that's why I'm for it. But I'm more than willing to, if it's better for everybody else, 35 laps and we can go 35, I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right. We're visiting with Jason Reed. He's the new general manager up at Knoxville Raceway, and we want to thank him for coming on the show today. How do you take when people, there's been a lot of fodder about how people compare you to Ralph Capitani. What are your thoughts when people say that to you? That's got to be flattering, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a great honor to be compared to him. But I like I told Eric and those guys last night. I hope in 10 years everybody's like, man, he was as good as Ralph. He's done as good as Ralph. He's done so many great things around here, and he was around here when I was first on the board. I spent a lot of time, listening to him and talking to him, and he's the one that he originally told me, man, you need to get on the executive committee. You need to get more involved in this. I can see that you really have a passion for this place and love it. He said, you need to get more involved. So I spent a lot of time. The time I had with him, I did listen to everything he said, and took it all in. But yeah, those are big shoes to fill. I no way think that I can that I'm filling those shoes right now. But I hope for in a few more years, everybody can say, man, this thing's really going in the right direction. So
yeah. What do you feel like the number one thing that you need to do to as the general manager up at Knoxville Raceway? What do you think is the number one job that you're going to have to do, or what is the number one thing that you are most interested in changing up at Knoxville Raceway?
Like I said, I'm not got anything big that I want to change yet. I just want to continue. I mean, I think starting, at our big event in August, start with the 360s, go through the 410s. We've got what I consider the best race, for fans, sponsors, drivers, everybody, for the 410 Nationals. I want to make sure that doesn't slip any, that we continue. There should be something for the fans to do all the time. The sponsors feel like they're, getting their money's worth. They're getting their fair shake here. That we continue to have a great purse. I know there's races that pay more than us. We for a long time, this one paid the most. I'm not out to do that. I want to make sure that everybody through the field, we still continue to, it's still 10,000 to start that race. And so, yeah, I just want to continue the whole fan experience. I want to make sure that everybody, when they're like, you got to go to Knoxville because, it's just great from the time you get there. I want our employees to be welcoming to everybody. I want to make it the greatest track in the world.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, and Caleb brings this up as well. Why the pro sprints over the 305s for the entry class up there at Knoxville? Was there a reason why you guys went to the crate motor versus the 305s?
Yeah, and this one be more that John would know more knowledge about, but I just know the basic facts of it was that we had a 305 class, and we had guys spending 25 to 30,000 on a 305 motor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And so we're kind of defeating our purpose. You know, we got this go-kart track here south of town, English Creek, that we're trying to get drivers to come, and we've had a pile of them come up here, but they're like, man, we're trying to get out of the go-kart business and go to 305, but we don't want to give $30,000 for a motor, to be able to compete. So that's when they find this GM crate motor, and, it's more economical for everybody to get started, kind of get their feet wet and decide if they want to race here at Knoxville, then if they want to move on up, they can. Like I said, we've had some big groups come through. We've had lots of kids that have ended up, and they're still race here today. The last year we didn't have very many that came up. We were sort of the pro sprint class was kind of down car count wise, but now according to John, he's talked to several of them at English Creek, and if they can get motors, the same thing, supplying the supply chain, we even get motors for those. If they can get them next year, we're going to have some more new ones next year. So yeah, that was basically the decision. We're like, man, they're spending a bunch of these things on a 360 and a 500 to win class, and so we were just trying to scale it back so we give everybody an opportunity. If they want to race a sprint car, here's your chance, and then then you can move on up from there if you want.
Yeah.